You're listening to Living Out Loud with my mom, Michelle Flamer. Yep, she's a flamer and proud of it. Get ready to learn about queers in your communities doing great things every week.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Living Out Loud. And I know I say this almost every week, how excited I am about the guests that I'm about to, introduce you to. But this one is a little special because not only are we both lesbians, we both lived in LA. She lives in Orange County now. But
No, Long Beach.
Long
LA.
Beach. Okay, that's true. And the good thing is we share a birthday. We're birthday twins. We've known each other for like 30 years, and it's really cool to introduce you guys to Jax Diener of Watch Me Sports Bar. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Flamer.
Yeah, that's my nickname. It's true. Yeah, I love
that's how I know you.
I know.
Yeah, it has been decades. It's so cool to be on your show.
I know. I'm so excited, but I've just been watching everything that you've been doing, and it's so epic. Can you just to give everybody a little context of like where you came from, and then how you started the bar? I mean, like starting a bar in any time of life is a big lift.
Yeah, just a little bit. Yeah. I mean, my story is interesting because I started out as a recreation admin major, and I think that really is the root and a point that I love to get across, because what I learned in that major was all about project management, program management. You have an end goal and you figure out how to get there, even if you've never done it before. And this current venture that I'm in, Watch Me Sports Bar, is an exact example of that. And I started out in childcare because I was a rec admin major, so that was my my early days, and running an after school program, directing summer camps, just having all those crazy fun things happening in your 20s. And my career took me all over the place, but I always wanted to open a sports bar because I would spend every Sunday going to watch the NFL, and I spent hours and dollars in a traditional sports bar and come out of it feeling like I wasn't necessarily welcome there with my friends. Like, we're not strategic enough, we're not smart enough to understand the game. And so I would come out every Sunday saying, I'm going to open my own sports bar one day. And I was too young at the time.
Talk about manifesting.
Yeah, I mean, I am a definite believer in creative visualization. And so I'm sure you're right on that. I'm sure years and years of wanting to do this and feeling like I didn't have the capacity to do it, or the confidence, honestly, to do it. So my career took me everywhere. I mean, went from childcare into the entertainment industry and worked at Warner Brothers. And then I got into the DVD world, and that was where project management really became clear to me, because I was overseeing all these clients for graphic design and then advertising and marketing. Most recently, Living Spaces. I ran the content production studio for 8+ years there, and
I bought my couch there.
Hey, there you go. And the jingle, as everyone does. I just, all of these things I kept hopping around because the intrinsic value was not there. And I kept trying to figure it out. What was it? And I would always have in the back of my head, what if I opened that sports bar one day? Mm-hmm. And when Jenny Wynn opened the Sports Bra up in Portland, I immediately heard about it. Once I heard about it, I immediately reached out to her and I said, hey, I want to franchise you here in Long Beach, which is LA County. And I said, I want you to be, I want to do what you're doing, but down here. And she wasn't ready. She had just opened. And now I fully understand this. She was only 2-3 months old. And so I just kind of hung in the background and would check in periodically. And ultimately, my timeline was speeding up. I could see that women's sports was growing. I could see media rights changing. I could see that if I don't do this and someone else does, then I will forever regret that I didn't do it. So then it
Mhm.
became, I'm going out on my own and I'm doing it. So my wife and I decided to take the leap. And
Amazing.
yeah, in September of 23, we opened the business and then opened the bar in July of 24, which was a crazy timeline. It's a whole other story.
I know. No, I mean, I'm sure. I can't because everything always takes 3 times longer. Everything always takes, when when you're looking at getting probably beverage licensing and all that sort of stuff. But before we go any further and we really tap into like what's happening now, I'd love to take it back to a time where little Jax all of a sudden realized that she might like girls.
Well, I think someone figured it out. Well, let's go really far back.
Okay, let's
Okay,
do it.
let's go all the way back to Charlie's Angels. So here's little Jax watching Charlie's Angels. I love telling this story. I'm so glad you've asked. And I have like this light bulb moment where I have a crush on all three of them, and I suddenly see them differently. I am looking at them as these beautiful women, and all this time I thought my mom was the prettiest woman around. And so now all of a sudden I'm recognizing, and I think I'm probably around 9 years old, that, oh, I like these women and they're really pretty and I want to keep watching them. And so I think that was where I had my first recognition. And then in junior high, someone hit on me and I didn't think it was right. It was a girl, and I was like, oh, I don't know what you're talking about. That's not who I was. And so she basically opened my eyes up to it that oh, maybe I'm gay. I don't know. And so then it wasn't until uh, 19 that I decided to check it out, and my life was forever changed, and have been with women ever since. I dabbled a tad with a couple guys, and that was when I realized I definitely needed to be with women.
Who did you come out to first? Did you come out to your mom or who?
No, it took me years actually to come out to my family. Oh God, I wish I could remember who I came out. Well, actually, it was the people who I worked with, and these two women. They were rumored to be a couple, and this is now me having a summer camp counselor job, and I'm 18. I think I'm 18, and there's a rumor about these two women that they're a couple. And I noticed myself gravitating towards them, and I end up hanging out with them. I become besties with them, and then they finally come out to me,
Oh,
and I'm like, totally fine, totally cool. And I think I was like a little, even though I knew, I was a little bit like taken aback for a tad, and we continued being great friends. They ended up breaking up, and I maintained a friendship with both of them, but one of them ended up becoming my first. So that's probably who I came out to first.
probably. So and then you didn't come out. So wait, when
That
we
is,
met in our 20s, I remember us, we were both kind of single when we met. Like
yeah,
it was a big group. It was very LA, like West Hollywood. It was like
yep. It
it was
was definitely LA.
yeah, definitely LA.
Um,
But I don't remember how we actually met. So I cannot still remember where we actually met though.
I
Like,
know.
was it Susan and those guys? Like,
I think we met at the connection.
I think so too. When I actually first came out, because I'm a couple years younger than you, I was playing tennis. I just told this whole coming out story, and I do believe that's probably where it was. And I miss the connection.
Oh my God.
It was special. It was a special kind of dive bar.
That is such a great. way to describe it. It absolutely was. And that was where I would go because my roommates were all straight and I needed a place to feel comfortable and feel safe as I'm, in this new territory. And back at that time, I mean, it wasn't okay to be out at all. And
Right.
so it was like sneaky. So,
I know, but you
I
walk
sound like I'm
in.
85 years old. I'm actually not, but but a
No,
lot
you're,
has
I mean,
happened.
we're very close in age. You're not 85, but there were some 85-year-old women at that bar. But no,
Oh yeah,
it was really like Annie and the softball team and Shelly and like all these,
yeah.
people. But it was this bar, and this is what's very sad about what's happened in America, where all these lesbian bars have like, there's only like 12, but now this reemergence, this like, it's really important what you guys are doing by creating these sports bars, because I always had a dream, and we never talked about this because I don't even remember what everyone even did when we were 20. Like we all just met up and hung out. Like no one talked about what we were doing for our life, or it was just like so present and so in the moment. And
Totally.
but one of the things that I really loved about that bar was you could just walk in at any time of the day and it was just dark as hell in there. And so you're like blind when you first walk in if you like, but it was also just, it was really like Cheers. It was really like
Yeah.
that little neighborhood bar. So with all of this going on, like when you walk into your space, this leads me perfectly into this. When you walk into your space at Watch Me, like what do you feel? What do you see? Like, are you trying to evoke any emotions for people, or are you just giving them a really fun place to hang out that's obviously safe?
Well, so I would call what you were describing the connection as the black hole because you literally would go in and get so wasted and then not even know what day it was when you left. So Watch Me Sports Bar is complete opposite. It is bright, open, airy. It's all windows. I even had glass garage doors added outside on our
Love that.
patio. So, I mean, I'm trying to achieve something that is welcoming. I mean, in every way you can consider being comfortable and being welcome
Yep.
into a place. That's what I want Watch Me to be. I want
Yeah.
it to, you know, hug you on the way in the door and know that you are whoever you are welcome in here and I want you to have a good time. I want you to be comfortable, whether it's here to watch women's sports, whether it's here to watch men's sports, because we are predominantly women's sports, whether
Hmm.
it's here to not even watch sports, but just come in and have a space that
Hmm.
you feel safe and you want to chill and have a brew or one of our fun cocktails. Like that's what I want for Watch Me. And I hear often that we're achieving that. And so that just, I always tell people that warms my heart because they don't have to say anything to me. These customers, I walk around, I say hi all the time. People don't have to say anything to me. And
Yeah.
I'm often pulled aside and people will say, hey, thank you for creating this space. And this is,
Well,
it's,
not everybody also wants to go to a bar, right? Like,
yeah,
so the fact that it feels more like a lifestyle that you're walking into, because whether you watch sports or not, because it's bright and inviting and, relaxing, you just feel like you're in your own, it's like this special little, probably, you're like, oh, I'm here with my people. Because
yeah.
every time you're around, our community, it evokes like this whole other energy, and it's so lovely. And I love the idea that Watch Me, and what the term, just like I'm doing air quotes right now, everybody, Watch Me, what that means for you, you know?
So, yeah, I mean, Watch Me, for those that don't know, is based on proving doubters otherwise.
Yep.
And ever since I can recall, I have felt whether that be in playing sports because I'm kind of smaller stature, not kind of, I am, or whether that be in school or in any of the numerous careers I had, I always felt like I had doubters and I always would turn that into fuel for my fire and say, you know what, I'm just going to quietly go out and prove you otherwise. Watch me. So the true tagline is "Watch me, motherfucker." And
Hell yeah, I love it. I got to get one of those stickers.
yeah, sticker on my water bottle.
I'm going to buy all the swag when I come in.
I gotta get these made in my font. But anyway, yeah. I mean, that's what we're about is just, you want to go ahead and doubt me? I mean, everyone said we couldn't open a bar restaurant in under a year, and we were hit with every obstacle we could possibly be hit with. And as it was, we got our business license the day before we opened, and we hit our date of the same
Amazing.
day as the opening ceremony of the Paris Olympics. So that was all by design, and it happened, and it was insane, but we did it. And guess how many people we proved wrong? Guess how many you're going to edit that? Guess how many people we proved wrong along the way, and still there are people out there that are, they were taking bets on how quickly we'd go down, and all that did was just create more fuel for me and say, you know what, we're going to show you that we have every reason to be here and beyond that.
It's great because the idea that I had back in the day when I was thinking, God, I just don't want to, like, I loved the connection for what it was, but I wanted a place where I could see people. Like, I could actually be like, oh, hey, there's my friend walking in. It's not like you're not getting blinded by the one door letting in, the light or whatnot. But it was called the living room, and I really wanted it to feel like a home, and like have couches to hang out in, have different areas, kind of like the ranch in Houston when I was in the military. Because you knew me when I left to go into the military, because
Yes.
that whole friend group. So when I was in the military, it was don't ask, don't tell, because you're exactly right. It was just that time frame where it was safe for us because we were in LA, like we were lucky, right?
Yeah.
But it's still like where the connection was, in parts of Culver City. That part wasn't probably as safe as we'd like to admit it now, but but we live to tell the tale, and that's always good. But yeah, I always thought of like having bars that feel more like someone's home. And I think the sports bars that you women are all creating across the country, and now, like you said, you mentioned the sports bra. I want to talk to them, of course, as well. But they're actually now franchising. I don't know if you
Yeah.
gave them that
Yeah, for
idea,
sure.
but they should give you a kickback because you were the first one to call and go, "Hey, can we do this?" But now it sounds like that they're getting their processes together, and
Yeah,
hopefully we're going to have, these great places. So when
absolutely.
so opening a bar is like one thing, right? Like opening a bar dedicated to women's sports and inclusive community is another. What was the single biggest leap of faith you took to bring Watch Me to life?
Whoa. Dialing it down. Single thing. Um, I'm going to be a little ethereal here and say it was belief in myself.
I was hoping you were going to say that, honestly.
Because I actually remember going to lunch with a really dear friend, who I've probably known maybe a little bit longer than you, and talking to her about what I was going to do, and I felt like I was trying to sell her on the concept. And I
Hmm.
remember sitting across the table saying, "I would bet on me right now," and I just kind of like, and maybe that's more of the watch me stuff, and kind of like, you know what, I'm going to prove you otherwise, actually, and I'm going to go out and get this done. And so I really believe that had I not had the belief and continuous belief that I have in myself, we wouldn't be here right now.
Well,
And
where did that belief come from? Who did it come from? Where did it come from?
this is such an interesting question, and I don't really know how to answer it. Sometimes I wonder if the root is me being adopted.
Hmm.
So I was having to prove otherwise, right? The day I was born. Is that it? I don't know. But I have
Yeah.
something in me that's feisty and gritty, and that, just is going to go try to figure things out. I'm not afraid to change. I'm humble at the same time, if I did the wrong thing, okay, I'm raising my hand and saying, oops, and I'm moving on to something else. So I'm going to try something
Yeah.
else. And I can tell you, I've had a lot of those in this business already. I've tried multiple things that have proven to not work. And maybe they'll work later, but they weren't working when I've tried them. And so I've moved on to other things, and other things are proving to, work. And so then we continue them. And so, you got to be able to believe in and trust in just kind of the system and where you are.
Yeah.
And I'm I believe the universe has my back. I believe my dad up there is the grand puppeteer, and
Hmm.
he gives me signs all the time. And so I feel like I've got a lot of good things behind me, and I can't really explain ultimately, my being and all of that in me. But, if I have to like have a physical thing that happened to me in my life, maybe it's being adopted. I don't know.
Does the fact that Watch Me is described as California's first sports bar dedicated to the appreciation and celebration of women's sports, like that's a huge responsibility in some ways. How do you stay grounded in the moments? Like let's just say, for instance, you just had this amazing event. One of my closest friends, Michelle, is now like such a happy,
Oh yeah, you're
founder,
going
and I
to.
can't wait to be a founder, like when I get there. But it's like part of that. I love how you created that piece of it. Like there's all these elements that you're part of it with me. You're not just saying, I created Watch Me. This is my fucking rodeo. Let's just do this. You're like, hey, everyone can have a piece of it. You want everyone to share in that. And you had like Abby Wambach there, Julie, it's like, it's crazy. It was mayhem. I mean, but the videos are fantastic. And my friend, she took so many great pictures. Michelle took so many great pictures. And I just, like that responsibility. And so how do you stay grounded through all those, like even these bigger events now?
Well, it to me it's always been about creating the space. And so we've had a lot of celebrities come here. We had Kristen Press and Tobin Heath here. We had Allison Felix here. We've had Olympians here. We've had the LA Sparks do their draft lottery pick here with four superstars, including Cameron
Amazing.
Brink and Dearica Hamby. So um, we've had all those, but all of those, except for the water polo Olympic team, the other ones that I mentioned, all were sort of shrouded in security, and I would come away from them going, "This is not why I built the space. It's not for me to have these moments. It's for everyone else to have these moments." And what I want to do is bridge the gap between the athlete and the fan, because that gap is huge. We think we know these athletes because we follow them on social. We see
Yeah.
them up on our screens, but do we really get to have any moments with them? And I want to create that. And so
Love it.
when Foudy and Abby said, "Hey, we want to come over there," and I had been working them for a while, indirectly.
Yeah.
I've been doing a lot of hustling in the background, and they're just
Of course you have been.
yeah,
Jeez.
yeah. But they said some really great things to us before they even had their event. And in fact, we're about to announce their next one here. And I don't know when this show is airing, if I can tell you, but yeah, they're going to be here again soon. And
Okay. You can tell me off and then we'll plan.
okay,
Yeah, we'll plan it around that.
okay, very good. So, um, that is humongous to me to have these Olympic athletes choose us. And for them in particular, they wanted a watch party and they wanted to be amongst them. They brought
Mm.
their own beach chairs. It was the coolest thing ever because we said, BYOC, we're doing this out in our courtyard. We don't have chairs, so you got to bring your own. And there they were. They each pulled up and got their chairs out of their cars and walked up. It was the coolest thing ever. So
Well,
cool.
come on, lesbians, we pretty much have our beach chairs in the back of our Subarus,
I guess
pretty much at any time. I do
yeah.
because I go to the dog parks and sometimes,
Oh, there you go.
I love having my chair with me, but I digress because I love camping and being out in nature. But like, so what feels like a good plan for Watch Me? What's some goals? Anything next like fast forward 5 years? what kind of legacy are you looking to build? And are you going to open up a second location?
Okay, let's see. So first, first of all, we are later this month, and I was hustling earlier today. I am trying to get our podcast studio up and running.
Woohoo!
So that is happening. And that is one way that I'm bridging the gap between the athlete and the fan, because my hope is that athletes come in here and shoot their pod and they can have a live audience sitting in on the pod with them. So that's first and foremost, is getting that up and running. And we started a secondary business because Watch Me had a baby, and that is called Fuel Us Sports and Entertainment. And it's got the same grit and same mentality. And so getting all of that functional, that's the, very, very nearby agenda item to check and get that up and running. And we already have some pods getting booked into January. So very excited about that. And then beyond that is really continuing to stabilize us as a bar restaurant, as the place that you want to come to watch any sports. And when you hear women's sports, you're just automatically thinking about us. And you've seen the people that have come here. You see the relationships that we've built. Billie Jean King, we got her in here in 9 months.
That was epic. I mean, I played tennis my whole life and through college. So
yes,
Billie
talk
Jean's
about
a hero.
Absolute epic. So cool. And then beyond that is really, there's a lot. The World Cup is coming to town in like 8 months or something, 8-9 months now. And then I think NBA All-Stars will be in town. And then pretty soon we're going to start to have Olympic trials and people coming out here and training. And so my big plan is to make sure that we are so ready for the Olympics. And part of that is already in motion. In fact, tonight we are holding a mixer for the Long Beach Olympics Advisory Committee members to come in here, and so we can all get to know each other. And we've already hosted some delegations from various countries to say, hey, you should choose Long Beach because we have 11 events in Long Beach that are coming to LA 28. And the water sports are right like 2 minutes from us. So we are going to get a lot of activity for that. So I want to make sure that we are dialed in every way possible. And we continue to evolve and mold and shape, and we're listening to the community. And there's things that I don't know yet that we will end up doing that the community will help inform me about. And that's helped us to get to here. So definitely, looking forward to all of that and see what happens after the Olympics. I'll probably sleep.
Since you're literally an amazing manifester because of all of this that has come to fruition, what is one event? I mean, the Olympics are a huge thing. So you're already on that. What is the shoot for the moon? Like, what is it, one event that you're dreaming up in your brain, but you just haven't even said it out loud yet?
Ooh.
Because that's how you manifest it. Because we're going to manifest it right here.
Let's manifest it right here. Let's see. Let's have, well, the 99ers have gotten around town, but there are other teams that have just been so pivotal. And I think getting an entire team in here, like maybe it's the inaugural Sparks team comes in here. That would be pretty badass. Because I was at that game. I saw that first basket for the WNBA, so that would be really cool. I might have to think a little more and get back to you so we can truly manifest this thing. But having a whole team is coming to mind immediately. That would be really freaking cool.
I think so too. I love that. So for anyone out there listening who has their watch me idea, right? They're that they are thinking about and they don't know quite like what's holding them back. What would be your, couple of pieces of wisdom that you could spew here and share with them?
Well, for me, and I would suggest that everyone have this if they listen, but your intuition, your gut. I have listened for a very long time, and it has gotten me to here. And had I just kind of pushed away some of my gut feelings and my ideas and those instincts, I wouldn't have gotten this far. So I think everybody, we all have it, right? It's just a matter of being open to it and listening and trusting and believing in yourself, because no one is going to have as much confidence in you as you. So you have to own that and take it and take ownership, literally take ownership of yourself and push yourself forward and just barrel ahead and ask for help at the same time, because I've got a lot of
I was going to
angels.
say, in my mind, I was thinking it takes a village, and I was going to ask, that was
Yeah.
going to be my next. Have you surrounding yourself with good people?
Yeah, I've got definitely some people who have stepped up and people that I didn't necessarily expect to show up.
Mm,
Some people I maybe expected to show up that didn't, but then others that have. And I definitely have some angels supporting me and helping me, like with the podcast studio. I've never opened one of those before either. So,
yeah.
getting that, standing up and getting processes in place and figuring all that out, I have needed support, and I've gotten it from people who just want to see me succeed. And I didn't know them before Watch Me. So,
Amazing.
so I think, being okay to ask the questions. And I heard Billie Jean King say this, you got to don't be afraid to ask. And had I not asked certain people certain things along the way, maybe things would look differently. So I'd say to someone, listen to your gut and be open to asking, because people want to help.
I love that. Now, when you look back at that little 9-year-old girl who was totally into, Charlie's Angels, would you even imagine yourself here? And if you could go back in time, what would you tell her?
Well, I don't know that I could have imagined myself here. I think I always knew that there was something great in there. It's weird for me to say great about me. That's very strange, but I just said it right now, probably for the
Good,
first time.
good.
But there was always some fire in there, right? So that's what I think I mean by that. And so looking back, I mean, I'd hope that she'd call me a badass, because I'm not remotely close to being done, and still working on making a name for myself. And yeah, going back to being the first in California means a lot, and that does carry a lot. And I just, I want to make sure that I present with, integrity and authenticity and, just good energy. And I want everybody to be happy. So if I'm creating that space where people are coming in here and having a good time, then I have checked the box.
I love that. Spoken like a true Aquarian. It's like, it's true though. Like we really do always kind of come from the space of like, we're always trying to include everybody. Sometimes it backfires on us, right? Like
Yes.
sometimes we get kicked in the head by people, but we do try to like, invite people in. And if we're doing something that lights us up, we want other people to be as lit up, right?
Yes.
So that
So
invitation,
true.
but I really love the authenticity piece because I talk a lot about highest vibration, highest frequency that we put off isn't love. It's not anger or any of those negative terms because those are really low vibrating. Authenticity is the highest vibration that you could possibly put out. So when you're on the floor, when you're walking to the tables and you're saying hi, you're in such a high vibrational space that people can't deny that magnetism, that charm. And because they genuinely know that, and this is minute, maybe the French fries came out wrong for them. Maybe they wanted more, oil, more garlic, whatever it is. But, but you're like, I want to make sure that I fix this for you because I want you to leave here with
Yeah.
the intention you put into the moment you guys open the door, that intention is already spoken into it.
Yeah. Really well said, and so true. Do you want to work here? Because that'd be cool.
I'd totally tackle the front door anytime I'm in town. Just put me as a greeter. I will make
That's
sure
what, hey
everybody's
man, that's what
happy.
I want, is a welcoming committee.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
we'll work on that. Anybody
Uh,
who's in the Long Beach, LA area wants a gig and want to work Friday, Saturday nights, maybe big name, maybe just come in and help out. You can do that. So Okay,
Yeah.
so then what we like to do near the end here is like a rapid fire. So you ready?
Okay, go for it.
All right. What is your favorite signature drink at Watch Me?
Ooh, it changes. It depends on the mood. So I don't know that I can actually answer that right off, but
Well,
I'm going to
okay, how
say
about the last one you had that you
the
really
last one I
enjoyed?
had was Gold Star. Oh, Michelle, it is absolutely the Watch Me Motherfucker. I have named a drink. I have a drink on our menu that is sake based and jalapeno. It is
Whoa.
fiery, feisty, just like Watch Me, and we're going places with that. So that is absolutely. I can't believe I hesitated for a second on that. That's absolutely my favorite drink on our menu.
That sounds epic because I love the spicy prickly pear margaritas here in
Oh
Phoenix.
yeah.
So good. Just that little sweet and hot, it's I love
Uh-huh.
that. All
Yep.
right. Favorite women's sports moment of all time.
Ooh. Oh my gosh.
I still think
Women's.
Brandy Chastain
Yeah,
taking.
that was immediately that came to mind, and I feel like that one's used so much, but it was so iconic and so pivotal for where we were in women's sports
Yep.
as a globe, as the earth. That was so altering that moment and so telling. So yeah, I would go with Brandy.
I think we could say Brandy, but then the Stonewall moment is Billie Jean playing
Oh yeah.
against
Yeah.
Bobby. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that again is just another iconic, moment. Karaoke go-to song. If you're gonna do some karaoke, what's your go-to?
Um, it's got to be All Fired Up by Pat Benatar.
Oh God, I love me some Pat.
Yeah, Pat's been my all-time fave since I was 13, and All Fired Up is really a theme to Watch Me. So, yeah, absolutely.
I love it. Finish the sentence. Watch me when I.
Watch me when I am on a beach, having a cocktail, looking back, going, I did it. We made this happen. We made this incredible space happen. We were the first in California to do it, um, and who knows
Nobody
what?
forgets their first.
No one forgets their first. Yes.
No one forget. Okay, and then the last thing is, what does living out loud mean to you?
Oh, just being your authentic self. Easy
Yeah.
peasy. I mean, just being you, who you are every day, just walking through life, doing whatever. That's absolutely what it means to me.
Well, I cherish you. I'm so happy that we've been in each other's life off and on for so many years.
Yes.
And I'm just really cheering you on every step of the way, sharing as much from, whatever you guys post. I'm happy to share it and keep people in the know. So I'm very proud of you. I'm not in the slightest surprised by your success, but I am genuinely proud of who you are, what you're doing, and you are making our community a little bit better, pouring one drink at a time.
Hey. Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me on your show. I am incredibly proud of you that you're
Thank
doing this,
you.
that you're stepping out and getting visible and getting out there.
Yeah,
And yeah, let's have a drink together. We need to figure that out.
we will. We're going to absolutely put something on the calendar soon.
Oh, sounds
Thank you.
good.
Thank you for joining me today. And I'm so excited for the pod to get to know you.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
If you liked this episode, please hit the follow button and remember, sharing is caring. Until next week, stay proud, stay loud.